Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the What Are We Doing podcast. My name's Levi McCurdy, and this is episode 177. And all of your favorite influencers are in Dubai. They're all there. They said, hey, we're going to the Super Bowl, right? We might as well head straight from the Super Bowl for the suite that we didn't pay for and go right to Dubai. Your favorite influencers are in Dubai. And why, you ask? Well, they're there to take shots. They're there to have fun. They're there for a photo op. They're there to influence in some formal way. Oh, and after they get done of a night of, taking shots, guns to the head, riding camels, whatever you do as a 20-year-old millionaire when in Dubai, the next day they all wake up, put suits and jackets on, and go to the world's government summit.
What are we doing?
Now, for those of you who don't know, Forbes magazine has taken the most influential influencers we know, from the likes of Brianna Chicken Fry, Josh Richards, the BFF podcast, Alicia Marie is there. All of the influencers are in Dubai for the Forbes World's Government Summit. And so I think this is a good idea. The general consensus for most people online is, hey, what do Brianna Chicken Fry and Josh Richards, the TikTok kid from the Sway House, have to do with governmental, world government business, being surrounded by world leaders? And so that's the argument. But in reality, what you need to understand is this is the greatest idea. Whoever came up with this should get a raise. Is Elon Musk there? Did we send Elon Musk to go to the world's government summit? Yeah, well, if it's not going to be someone like Elon Musk or Donald Trump because they're too busy in the mines of Pennsylvania digging out the amounts of paperwork that we have used to retire government officials allegedly. And so while they're busy getting up all in the financial butthole of America and the IRS and demolishing the Department of Education and pretty much, hey, who's the president? Is it Elon or Trump?
What are we doing?
So while that's all going on over here, right, we've got to represent the United States in a better way over there. So when the world leaders and the people who matter from each individual country gather into one big kind of what we're calling now a summit, we don't have time. We don't have the ability. We don't have the time. We don't have the manpower. They're busy. We can't send people like Donald Trump or J.D. Vance or anyone from our actual government. So we've put the responsibility in the hands of none other than Brianna Chicken Fry and her BFF, Josh Richards. So if you were wondering up until this point what business the podcaster, TikToker, frat girl party drinking high noons on stage at the frat house, Brianna Chicken Fry has to do with anything going on within the world's government summit, well, then you clearly need to wake up at the bigger picture, folks, okay? There's clearly something else bigger going on here. If they mean that much to this, then why aren't we paying attention? Why we need to start really paying attention here. Do you think for a minute that Donald Trump is running this country?
What are we doing?
Come on, we're sending a woman by the name of Brianna Chicken Fry to the Forbes World's Government Summit to speak on what? Entrepreneurship? To speak on what? How she got lucky, got a job as a podcaster at some internet company, and now she reads off brand deals, has her own thing going on because of those opportunities. Brianna Chicken Fry, she's an entrepreneur.
What are we doing?
Now listen, I didn't get invited. We, unfortunately, were a little busy. We didn't get invited. We never got the call. I was waiting. I was like, hey, am I going to Dubai on this Forbes trip? Like, what's going on? I've got influence. I'm an entrepreneur. I can speak. I know, where, what, how to talk to these world leaders about business and what's going on in the United States because I own a couple. And so I assumed they would have called me, but at the end of the day, that didn't really happen. So, in the grand scheme of things, I'm excited. I'm happy. I hope we get a lot done. There's so many things on the agenda. Here's a few panels. Here's a few panels they're having at the World's Government Summit. You can go watch people, probably not Brianna or Josh, but they'll be there in the sense of people who are talking about government efficiency, financing the future, managing global influence, leadership strategies, global trade and economy, just to name a few.
What are we doing?
And so what we have allegedly mistaken as just a few, let's get drunk, let's post on TikTok, let's make some podcasts. We've got 6-figure contracts with Barstool Sports, so fuck it, let's go to the Super Bowl. Let's go to Dubai. Oh, you want to get paid to go to Dubai? They're paying them. Like, you don't become someone like Alicia Marie or Josh Richards or Brianna Chicken Fry without getting on the plane if there's not a check in your account first. And so while they're there, right, they arrive in Dubai and it's one big party. They're drinking, they're riding camels. Brianna's got a gun to her head. There's so many things. It's a party over in Dubai. But when it's time for the seriousness, we've got to put on our fresh suits. We've got to toss on the blazer jacket, and we've got to make everyone around the world, all the other countries, believe that the best person to represent the United States at the World's Government Summit in Dubai was none other than Brianna Chicken Fry.
What are we doing?
And so it's the World Summit. We're here. We're trying to solve world peace. We're talking about finances and crypto and everything else. I'm watching the panels online. So it's become this kind of smallish, kind of biggish event. People are sending all of their world leaders, their billionaires, business owners, people who are important, like Elon Musk and all of his friends. The CEO of Google is there. The CEO of Google is there. And we have, as a United States, from the entertainment and influencer category, have sent over Brianna Chicken Fry and Josh Richards, among other social media influencers. I'm kind of upset. I'm kind of upset that I didn't get the invite. I don't think I would have been able to go anyways, but basically at the end of the day, you know what I mean? We're all for it. We watched Bree's panel. She slayed. I mean, America has never been in a better place than we are right now.
What are we doing?
Yeah, so what? So what? A plane has fallen out of the sky, crashed into the ocean, killed a bunch of people like what? Once a week? Every week since we started 2025? Sure. Has Donald Trump demolished like half of the shit that we've all relied on for the last like 30 plus years as a country? Sure. Does he have a private billionaire named Elon Musk going through the financial records of every single department within the government? I'm pretty sure they're in the IRS building right now, auditing them as we speak. Sure. But when it comes down to the nitty gritty, if you look at the big picture, it doesn't matter who the president is or the price of eggs or who he appoints as his best friend to stand next to him in the White House. It doesn't matter that Twitter Junior or X or whatever the fuck Elon names his son after his next company. I told Paul, my next kid, I'm naming WAD.
What are we doing?
WAWD, and his name will fully stand for What Are We Doing? And we'll refer to him as WAD, and we'll call him or her WAD, and that'll just be their name. So if Elon Musk can name his kids after his businesses, I'm going to start doing the same thing, because apparently that's the billionaire mentality. So now that we've got Elon Musk essentially running our country, why not? Why not go even further with the ridiculousness? Shout out Rob Deerdick. Why not take it one step further and send Alicia Marie, Brianna Chicken Fry, the other TikTokers, Josh Richard, the BFFs, Barstool Sports, send them to Dubai and have them represent the United States of America and let them speak. Have Brianna say something that she probably generated on ChatGPT on stage in front of world-renowned leaders and billionaires. And then fuck it. She's going to be taking shots riding a camel with Josh back in LA in like 24 hours, if not on the private jet that they take from Dubai back to wherever they're at, New York, LA, wherever the fuck they want to go. They're kids who have millions of dollars and Zaddy Portnoy trumpets right behind them backing them. So if they want to go to LA or New York or fly in a private jet, fuck it. Maybe they want to call Colin. Maybe they'll call Colin for a private jet. And if we're talking about Colin from Amalfi Jets, well then buckle up, folks, because this plane is about to take off. Because here's the tinfoil hat. Get the tinfoil hats out, because I'm convinced, dude. I'm convinced. I am 100% here to tell you the conspiracy theory of 2025. It started last year, but we're busting it wide open right now. Oh, and Daddy, we brought evidence. We've got evidence. We've got proof. We've got facts. We've got assumptions, and we've pretty much got every single thing we need to put Colin away. I'm calling it right now, Colin. It's not real.
What are we doing?
That motherfucker back there, not real. The lady on the plane who was like, went viral last year, he's not real. That guy's not real. We figured it out. She was talking about Colin from Amalfi Jets because she saw him on a regular standard class Southwest fucking flight.
What are we doing?
The lady from last year, you saw the video, put it up on the screen.
That motherfucker back there is not real.
We now have facts and confirmation that that lady was in fact on, I think it was like either American Air or like Southwest or Spirit Airlines or something. And when she got on the plane, she locked eyes with none other than the passenger sitting in seat 3, row B. And it was none other than Colin from Amalfi Jets. And when the numbers started turning, she's like, wait a minute, Colin's a pilot. Colin owns a private jet charter company. Why is he would never fly on Southwest. Why is Colin here? And then she loses her mind. She starts to go, he's not real. He's not real. Colin from Amalfi Jets isn't real.
What are we doing?
And I know you know who I'm talking about. It's every TikTok. It's like
Amalfi
Jets. This is Colin. It's your TikTok feed 24/7, and I'm here to tell you he's not real. It doesn't exist. The company doesn't exist. Here's Exhibit A. Exhibit A, Amalfi Jets doesn't exist. Now, if you know anything about Amalfi Jets, there is a person within his office that Colin employs by the name of Josh. Now, Josh is an employee. He's a happiness. He's a customer happiness relations person. He's supposed to get more people on the app, more people in planes. It's basically the same job that everyone else has at Amalfi. You pick up the fucking phone, you ask them where they want to go, and then you charter them a flight elsewhere so we can make 10 grand off of every phone call. That's how it works. So Josh's job is to get people on the planes, just like Colin, just like everyone else who works for Amalfi, okay? And so what Josh did, after one lovely Friday evening, his team of 2 other guys, so Josh and his 2 buddies. Josh didn't book any flight. Josh booked 0 flights on Friday, but that's not to say that his buddy number 1, I forget his name, we'll call him Jake. Jake booked 8 flights, and Tony booked 5 flights. So that's a total of 13 private round-trip charters that Josh and his 2 underneath him employees booked last Friday. So why not go out and celebrate? And that's exactly what Josh did. Josh went out with his 2 coworkers. He said, you guys did great. We booked like 13 flights this week. Colin's going to be so impressed. Let's go to the steakhouse. Let's celebrate. Let's have a good Friday night. Josh and his 2 other coworkers end up spending upwards of $3,000 on the Amalfi Jet business credit card.
What are we doing?
Now, for those of you who don't know, 1, the restaurant that Josh and his 2 coworkers went to, their steaks and drink, like it should only be upwards, and this is generous. With the restaurant that they went to, the steakhouse and everything involved, appetizers, entree, dessert, a few drinks for everybody at max. At max, each of these boys should have only spent $300 to $400 a piece. Now, doing the math, that's about $900 to $1,500. So where did the other $1,500 worth of steaks come from, Josh?
What are we doing?
So as you can imagine, this wasn't sanctioned or approved by Kolin. He calls him into his office. He says, hey, what's up with this $3,000 steakhouse order? And he's like, oh, I took me and the boys out. We celebrated a bunch of charters we booked on Friday. And Colin's like, $3,000 worth of steaks? Like, were they cancer curing steaks? Like $3,000 worth of sides, Josh? Like, come on, bro. We've seen it before. Now, the issue is Kolin, the owner and CEO of Amalfi Jets, he's allowed. He can go out and spend $3,000 on the Amalfi credit card because it's his business. You know who can't do that? Fucking Josh.
What are we doing?
And so, like I mentioned prior in this podcast, much like Kolin, I'm also a business owner and entrepreneur, and I know other business and entrepreneurs, and I know other employees, aka pretty much everyone I know is an employee of someone somewhere. And let me bring you up to speed, folks. If you ever overcharge or spend any amount of money on a corporate card that your boss personally hands you to buy things related to the business, and you buy something that wasn't approved and was kind of personal, if not 100% personal, and you took it upon yourself to do such of a thing and use the company card to pay for it, 99% of the time, it's 100% termination every single time. I know a friend of mine, she worked for a bank. A friend of mine, her name's Sarah, she worked for a bank for years. She worked for this bank. And she she's been there for 10 years. She's finally got her grasp in the industry. She gets another job offer. She gets a job offer from another bigger bank, someone who's going to pay her better, a better position at another better bank. So she goes, she gets the job there. And what are one of the benefits that comes with this lovely job at the new bank? Well, she gets a company credit card. So she needs to take a client out for a lunch, a cheap under $100 lunch, or do this, or go here, or gas while she's traveling to a meeting, or whatever that business expense situation might be, she can use it. Now, the only issue is Sarah found out the hard way that you cannot use a company card for, like, I don't know, a personal cup of coffee.
What are we doing?
And so the issue was Sarah got fired. Most people on this planet who use a corporate company credit card for their own personal and unapproved expenses, especially that of upwards of $3,000 on a dinner that a client or a potential client wasn't even attending, and it was just you and your two coworkers, aka you and your boys. Josh should have skipped straight through strike one, straight through strike two, and right to strike three. You're out. Go CHR. That's $3,000. And by the way, the story doesn't end there. Kolin got all up in his butthole looking at what else Josh has been spending money on. $1,200 a month on Starbucks.
What are we doing?
So that's Exhibit A. Exhibit A that Kolin and Amalfi Jets doesn't exist is that any other multi-million-dollar corporation like Amalfi Jets, if one of their silly goose employees were to spend $3,000 on a steak dinner, they'd be fired. You'd be fired or suspended or whatever the situation is. Not just Kolin saying, "Hey Josh, give me just give me your card. You're on. I'm not going to let you have the company card anymore. Get back to work." That's it. That's it. He gets a slap on the wrist. That's it. That's Exhibit A, B. And Exhibit B, as in bro, as in homie. Exhibit B, homie. I mean, Exhibit B is pretty much the lid off of the whole thing. The lid off of this whole thing, and what you presumably already should know, and the reason why most of you know of or have heard of or have seen Kolin and Amalfi Jets videos, McKenna.
Amalfi Jets is calling.
McKenna, for those of you who don't know, McKenna is allegedly, and I say allegedly because we're busting this wide open. We've got evidence right here ready to go. Ready for this? McKenna from Amalfi Jets isn't real either. Not only is Amalfi Jets one giant illusion, listen, it doesn't take more than an office space, a couple of clip-on microphones, and an iMac sitting on a desk for you to do what? For you to say you own a private jet company. Colin's on the plane, and we've got actual customers and clients. Like who? McKenna?
What are we doing?
McKenna is not real. I hate to break it to you folks, but McKenna isn't real. I've got McKenna's actual identity. McKenna's actual identity, her name is Margot. And guess what? She doesn't spell it regular, dude. And she needs to change it. Hey, Margot, change your name. It's not M-A-R-G-O like the average fucking person would spell it. It's M-A-R-G-E-A-U-X. Oh, hey, Margot, change it.
What are we doing?
Now, Margot is just like Josh. She's there to book flights for Kolin. She's there to work for Kolin. She is there to be Kolin's employee. McKenna, everyone knows, is this stuck up, presumably just daddy's girl, rich chick who spends all of her daddy's money flying from her private school in, I think, Geneva, Switzerland, somewhere in there, to pretty much all over the UK. She'll fly to Paris, she'll fly to France, she'll fly here, she'll fly there. Why? Because her best friend Coco just got a dog and now she needs one. Because someone she saw just got a Ferrari, so now she needs to drive or fly to Switzerland, private jet, one way back, one way to get matching Ferraris for her and her best friend. And by the way, Kolin needs to provide transport of those Ferraris back to her private school. And so McKenna and Coco, this whole story, this whole McKenna lore, the fact that we are supposed to believe that some girl named McKenna who's in a private school, whose father is unknown, but presumably has hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars just in the bank, ready to be spent by his daughter, is calling none other than Kolin from Amalfi Jets.
Amalfi Jets is calling.
And basically just doing her dramatic thing of flying here, flying there because of her friends, because of something she saw on Facebook, because she saw on TikTok that this one fancy little dog was in Paris, so she had to go get it. Like the reasoning behind McKenna flying private from where she is, from point A to point B, has just never sat right with me. And the way Kolin looks at the camera, this is McKenna. Look, this is an example. Can we place? Let's get some McKenna. Meet McKenna. She's not real. I'm telling you right now, she's not fucking real.
What are we doing?
So this is Kolin on the phone with McKenna. We'll get back to Margot in a minute, but this is McKenna.
Hey, McKenna, how are you?
Bien, ¿cómo estás?
Bien.
I'm wanting to fly to Barcelona.
Do you mean Barcelona?
Barcelona. It's how the locals say it, actually.
That's
You're
right.
I should have known that.
Yeah, so I'm in Geneva, and I want to go to Barcelona.
Okay, when do you want to go to Barcelona?
Probably in like 2 hours.
Oh, like today, Barcelona.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of pasty over here, and I want the sun.
All right, and are you open?
That's right. It's not very bright in Switzerland where she is. So she wants to fly private round trip to Barcelona and just get a tan.
What are we doing?
And so this is McKenna. This is what she calls every week. She wants a flight every other day. Sometimes daddy doesn't have enough money in the account. Sometimes she does. Sometimes she has to call him. There was a whole boyfriend breakup saga. McKenna is just, it's a little too good to be true. So now let's take that, everything you know here. Let's listen to a little bit more about McKenna just so you can really grasp her voice.
Maybe something a little bit smaller like a super, or do you want a heavy only?
No. I only want a heavy.
Shouldn't have asked, I'm sorry. Good news, I actually have a Challenger 850 literally on the ground for 22,000 US.
Muy bien, Colin. Let's book it.
Muy bien, Colin, let's book it. Now listen to Margot. This is Margot. This is Josh's coworker, Margot. She wasn't included in the steak dinner, unfortunately, and that's probably why she's mad. But presumably also an Amalfi Jets employee. Listen to the sound of her voice.
Hi, Margot, we're ready for your one-on-one. Pull up the chair, we're jumping in.
No, we're not doing our one-on-one. Colin, Josh has to go. He has to go. I can't take it anymore. He doesn't know how to do his job, and he just sits out there. He writes off TikToks, thinks TikToks are his job, and I can't do it.
This is McKenna.
What are we doing?
The voice is the same. The voice is the same. I'm playing them both at the same time. Listen to this. Ready, watch. Ready, watch. It's the same shit. Listen, both at the same time.
I guess I'll just
He has
dump
to
it down
go.
for you.
I can't take it anymore. He doesn't know how to do his job, and he
Okay,
just
just
sits
one-
out there. He
You can
writes
say
off
it.
TikToks,
Yeah, I would
thinks
probably say the
TikToks
same
are his
way.
job,
And I
and I
want-
can't.
Listen to me. She sounds the exact same. I think Margot with an X is McKenna. It's Exhibit B. There's no way she's not real. Oh, and by the way, if we go to the comments, let's go to the comments. Let's go to the comments of this TikTok with Margot in it, because Margot's a new character in the Amalfi universe, allegedly. And so go to the comments. Oh, what do the comments say? Oh, she sounds just like McKenna. This must be McKenna. Oh, it's McKenna. McKenna was a bit. McKenna's not real. Amalfi Jets isn't
What are we
real.
What are we
It's-
doing?
Amalfi Jets is calling.
It's just
What are we doing?
chaos. Amalfi Jets is, and I mean, like, dude, his competitors will call him. His competitors of other private jet aviation companies will call Kolin and be like, "Hey, Kolin, this is Jeff over at Jeff's Aviation. I'm just wondering what you think you're doing. Am I to assume correctly that you don't actually own any jets and you're just a charter company? Because that's really putting a dent on our businesses over here."
What are we doing?
And so now, Exhibit C, we're supposed to believe that Amalfi Jets their competition is taking time out of their day. Other private jet companies they're taking time out of their day to call Kolin and be like, "Hey, bro."
What are we doing?
Because he's disrupting the private jet industry. And I just don't buy it, folks. Do you think I have time as a business owner or my employees or the people I employ? Like, do you think we have time to sit here and call Webpage and Infantry and DJ this and Clot and Spart and whoever else, all of our competition? Do you honestly think, as another business, what do you think you could be doing with your time? So to come up with the fact that, hey, let's create, how do we make Amalfi Jets a real business? We create real competition that's mad at us because we're killing it on TikTok.
What are we doing?
Like, why would their competitors call, dude? Why would their competitors call that? Listen, it's as easy as an NDA. It's as simple as an NDA. I was just on the phone with my lawyers just the other day. The call cost me $2,000, but at the end of it, I got the answers I needed, okay? All Kolin has to do, all I have to do to start a TikTok and say I'm a private jet charter company is literally sit at this desk, change my backdrop, and record me talking on the phone with people. Now, to start, it's not going to be real. We're going to have to create some fake calls. But once we gain momentum like Kolin, he's got real people calling. I don't think that the people calling him today are made up. I think McKenna is, and that's how they gained their popularity, and now they have actual people calling them. But what I think happens is before anyone ever gets on camera from Kolin on TikTok, you just sign an NDA. You just sign an NDA.
What are we doing?
And Kolin, they say, hey, is this Kolin? Like, this is how a phone call probably goes with Amalfi Jets. Ready? Ring, 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 ring. And someone picks up and says,
Amalfi Jets is Kolin.
And I say, hey, my name's Levi. I'm booking I need a private jet from, I think we'll do Washington, D.C. to Cancun, Mexico. We're looking to fly on this day, this day, this day. And then Kolin on the other line goes, okay, Levi, great. If you don't mind, we're going to record this for our TikTok. We just need you to sign an NDA quick. I'm going to send you a DocuSign. You just type in your name. It's going to take 2 seconds. We can do it right here on the phone and it'll be done. I say, great, Kolin, here's my email address. He sends me a DocuSign. I click sign because it's all you have to do on a DocuSign is just click and boom, bam. I bought this whole house in 2020 during COVID with DocuSign. Our real estate agent would send me 30 to 40 documents to sign at a time. I go click, 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 and in 2 minutes it's done. And she's like, how'd you sign all these so fast? It's DocuSign. It's digital. It doesn't matter. It's not real.
What are we doing?
And so Kolin makes me sign an NDA via DocuSign on my email. I'm like, yep, Kolin, I got it. It's signed. He instantly gets a notification to his email that says, Levi McCurdy just signed your NDA. And then Kolin immediately blurts out the words to me on the phone. Thanks for signing that NDA, Levi. Listen, Amalfi Jets isn't actually a charter company. We're an entertainment company, and it's an experiment. We were hired by one of the biggest entertainment companies on the planet. I can't tell you who it is, but basically we're conducting multiple channels just like this. It's not just Amalfi Jets. There are multiple TikTok accounts and YouTube channels out there being ran by this company as a front for other companies so that we can create content and go viral online. Do you wish to continue the call? Yes or no? And so then it's up to me to come up with some elaborate idea about why I want to fly to Mexico and back to Pennsylvania and have to spend upwards of $120,000 on Amalfi Jets private charter.
What are we doing?
Bro, every other video of Kolin, every other person who books that flight with him is being like, oh yeah, Kolin, we want catering. Every flight he offers them catering, and 9 times out of 10, it's Chick-fil-A.
What are we doing?
Kolin from Amalfi Jets, 98% of the time is we're supposed to believe. I am supposed to wholeheartedly believe that these millionaires and the children of thereof are booking private jets with Amalfi through Kolin, and they show up on the plane spending $150,000, $100,000 both ways, $50,000 both ways, money that you and I couldn't even fathom. Maybe one day we'll have it, but to spend it all at once, just like that, for a 2-hour plane ride, get the fuck out. So at the end of the day, if I am spending $150,000 on a 2-way plane ride with Amalfi Jets private jet, I better not get anywhere near the smell of or the sight of that white bag with the red fucking logo on it. I swear to God, that's Exhibit D, dude.
What are we doing?
Exhibit D is the fact that Kolin is feeding his clients $100,000 worth of private jet flights in 2 hours. Chick-fucking-fil-A. There's not a better restaurant on the planet, apparently, other than Chick-fil-A. The man is providing Chick-fil-A sandwiches to people spending $100,000 on a round-trip private jet to a fucking Pokemon card tournament.
What are we doing?
Folks, if this isn't one of the biggest conspiracy theories of the internet, I don't know what is. You think the government, all the conspiracy theories about the government are true. We know that now. They continuously prove them over time. We're getting the JFK files, the MLK Jr. file. Like, it's all coming to surface now that, like, oh, all that shit and government corruption, that's true. But what the real conspiracy theories are is shit like this.
Amalfi Jets is calling.
You know what I mean? And so, I don't know, bro. Amalfi Jet, Kolin, call me. If you wanna defend your name and you wanna be a real company, or you just wanna come out and let everyone know, let's get on this podcast. Let's do it right. Let's get in front of a camera, a real one, not somebody's iPhone. And let's talk about it. Let's come up. How'd you come up with it? Because to me, it's genius. If I'm right, and I usually am on this podcast. If I'm right, it's the most genius marketing plan and execution any company has ever done. If I'm right on this, the execution of a fake private jet aviation charter company that just steals the attention of the average human being, not only for the fact that it's catchy, because every time you scroll on TikTok, you hear this.
Amalfi Jets is calling.
Hey, Kolin, it's McKenna.
And it's like, hey, bro, there they are again. What's McKenna buying now? Where's she flying now? Whose rich daddy is putting money into their Amalfi Jet 1 card via the new Concierge 2.0 app that just launched? Get them that for Valentine's Day. You know what I mean? If you want to get your wife the perfect gift for Valentine's Day, it's a private jet from
Amalfi Jets is calling.
So I'm just saying, bro, if Colin's really out here flying dudes to Colombia to meet a girl who's not actually a girl, who he met on Tinder 24 hours ago because he's going to marry her because she's desperate, or some guy who wants to play laser tag on the plane, or some guy going to a Pokemon tournament, or just some girl who wants to fly from Geneva to Paris, France, just so she and her best friend can get matching Ferraris together.
What are we doing?
What do you think? Do you think Kolin from Amalfi Jets is real? Because the evidence that we have shows otherwise. Okay. So I don't know, man. I don't think we need to spend any more time. I think the evidence is there. I think him not firing Josh for $3,000 charges on the credit card that weren't approved, strike number one. Hiring the girl, what's her name? Freaking Margot, dude. Margot is McKenna. Okay, it's that obvious. So hey, fool me once, shame on you. I was on board. I was all into the Coco McKenna drama. But now it's become blatantly obvious that,
Amalfi Jets is calling.
Isn't very real.
Amalfi Jets is calling. Amalfi Jets is calling.
Hey, Kolin, it's
Amalfi
McKenna.
Jets is calling.
Hello, it's
Hi,
Bianca.
McKenna. How are you? Hi, Bianca.
Hi, so I just got an offer from HWVA. I was,
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Valentine's Day, and what better way to celebrate with your loved one than getting your first month free of BLUECHEW? That's right, it's usually $20 plus 5 shipping. And with our friends at BLUECHEW, just because you listen to this podcast, we are giving you your first shipment for free. It's only going to cost you $5 out the gate this Valentine's Day, and you're going to get your 6-pack of BLUECHEW for free. That's right. Your first 6-pack of Blue Chew for free from the Wad Pod. All you have to do is use our link down below in the description. Using that link only, you will automatically be applied for the free month of Blue Chew. That's $20 off your order, only paying $5 shipping with the What Are We Doing podcast. Blue Chew offers you the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and other medications for a fraction of the price in a chewable form. Prescribed online and shipped to your door. You can cancel anytime. No gimmicks, no lock-in. Blue Chew makes getting the treatment you need affordable and discreet. No more waiting rooms, no more time-consuming doctors, in-person visits, no more judgment. Quality patient care and prescription treatments do not have to be inconvenient or expensive. All plans include a digital physician consult, RX-only chewable tablets, monthly refills, and medical support. Pills haven't worked for you? Blue Chew offers chewable Solidify, Tolidify, and Verderify. I said all of those words wrong, but basically what it means is Blue Chew's not only going to get you hard, it's going to help you last longer, and it's going to keep you even harder. So if your girl or your guy or whoever you're in bed with, all you need to know is that with Blue Chew, pop 1, pop 2, and now you're chewing through the evening. And ladies, I'm telling you, take it from me, take it from my fiance, it works.
What are we doing?
You pop a Blue Chew and 30 minutes go by and you're rip-roaring, ready to go. You last longer, you stay harder longer. With our friends at Blue Chew, you're going to get your first month free just by listening to the What Are We Doing podcast. So make sure you click the link below in the description. Click that, fill out the form. You're going to be on your way to getting $20 off your first month free. Blue Chew, it's the perfect companion for that Valentine's Day card. Ladies, fellas, listen up. You don't know what to get your man for Valentine's Day? It's easy, ladies. We're getting you flowers. We're getting you something sweet to eat. We're getting you a card, maybe a little stuffy, maybe a little, maybe just a little plant for your windowsill. The waterless plants they have. I don't even know what they're called, but Megs has 80 of them. I get her one every year because she loves it. Why? Because they don't die like flowers. So ladies, if you're having thoughts about getting your man something special this Valentine's Day, this February, do it with none other than our friends at Blue Chew. Go to the link in the description. Click it. All you got to do is go down to the description, click the link, and you're off. You're getting $20 off your first order. It's only $5 for good measures, 100%. It's that easy. 100%. Have a 100% hard time this Valentine's Day with Blue Chew. It's easy, it's discreet, no in-person doctor's visits, and you can cancel your subscription at any time. Use the link down below, $20 off, $5 Blue Chew. Do it now. Go now. Do it. Listen, the Super Bowl came and went. It was last weekend. I'm a little late on the reactions. Everyone has already got theirs online, but I'll make mine kind of quick here because that's pretty much what it was. It was mid, bro. It was mid. The Super Bowl this year was mid. Everyone had a job and everyone almost did it. Okay, let's start with the game because that's the most mid part about it. Yes, Philly, Eagles, you did it. Congratulations. I'm excited. Home state, hometown. I got so many people who are pumped that the Phillies won the Super Bowl. Or not the Phillies, the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And so that was great. Awesome. That's probably, dare I say, the best part of the whole thing. And so with that, the rest of the game, it was blatantly obvious. On the Chiefs side, it was Mahomes passing it to Travis Kelce. And on the Eagles side, their only goal was to tackle the ever-living shit out of Patrick Mahomes. Because if Patrick Mahomes can't get the ball to who he needs to get the ball to, then the Chiefs lose the game. And that's exactly what happened. Every other play, Mahomes had pressure. Mahomes was getting sacked. Mahomes was tackled. Mahomes was throwing the ball out of bounds. Mahomes wasn't there. Mahomes didn't perform. And so when he did, because sometimes the Chiefs let it slip, and he was able to throw said ball to his teammates. And just about, I'm almost positive it might have been 100% of the time, when Mahomes threw that ball to his teammates, the Eagles intercepted it. And so up until the fourth quarter, I think maybe the end of the third quarter, it was 20-0. The Chiefs had nothing. And then in the last quarter, they got a few field goals. They got a touchdown out of pity. The Eagles dumped the Gatorade on their coach 3 minutes before the game was over. Unheard of.
What are we doing?
Because that's how much of a sweep it was. The game was over literally at halftime. A lot of people thought maybe the Chiefs will come back in the second half. The last time the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, they didn't score any points in the first half, and then they dominated. So everyone kind of thought that was going to happen here. Instead, we just got tears and pouty face from a Travis Kelce. And that was it. That was the game. It was the Philadelphia Eagles. The rookie did his job. The quarterback did his job. They scored the touchdowns. People who weren't supposed to score touchdowns celebrated. It was a game. It was a wholesome game. It wasn't a Super Bowl game, I don't think at all. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Carlos will let me know if my opinion's correct. The commercials, let's talk about the commercials, because they were kind of mid too. There was a couple of noticeable ones, okay? But basically, every time I looked up at the TV, being on my phone, Twitter, watching the score, commercials, TV, doing whatever else that night, having the Super Bowl party as we do, every other commercial was Matthew McConaughey.
What are we doing?
Somehow this year, Matthew McConaughey's agent just got him the deals of a lifetime. The deals that Matthew McConaughey has been waiting for arrived this year, because that man was in 7, 8, 9 commercials. Every other commercial starred Matthew McConaughey. And hey, we love it. We love him. Good Matthew McConaughey. We love to see it. We love to see the Matthew McConaughey. We loved his tuna salad recipe last year. We like his work in movies past. We are fans of Mr. Matthew. And so that was pretty much the commercials. You know what I mean? Some fetch app promised one lucky winner $30,000. The app store crashed. The downloads crashed. You couldn't even log into the thing. And so it's become this big, just kind of corporate machine for the commercials every year. And it's hey, because of the internet and social media, we don't even get to wait for the Super Bowl for the commercials anymore.
What are we doing?
The commercials are just on. They're out. We saw the Shane Gillis, Post Malone, Bud Light commercial 3 weeks ago. So whenever it was on the Super Bowl, it was yeah, cool, there he is. There's Post Malone. Don't need to pay attention because I've already seen it. When we need to go back to the days that we stopped putting the commercials out before the Super Bowl. What made the Super Bowl great was not only the combination of the performance of the halftime show, which we didn't get this year, the game and the commercials, because we didn't know what was coming. We didn't know who was doing what. We didn't know what celebrities were going to be in the commercial. We don't know who, what the premises of the commercials was. And so now with this new remedy of we've got to upload it before the Super Bowl so we can get enough hype and awareness around our brand, because the Super Bowl doesn't do a good enough job. We've got to release it 3 weeks prior. And then just what we see that day during the game is just a replaying of the same ad we've seen on TikTok 10 times already.
What are we doing?
And so the halftime show. Listen, the halftime show is supposed to be a performance. And now, did Kendrick perform? Yes. But what Kendrick did during this halftime show wasn't for the audience. It was not for the stadium. It was not for the Super Bowl. I believe what Kendrick did during his Super Bowl performance was for him and his never-ending obsession with Drake and the rap community. If you are diehard, deep within the rap, hip-hop, Atlanta, PG Lang record label, if you're in Kendrick Lamar's atmosphere and you're within his bubble and you understand it and you're for it and you live by it and you're a rap fan, hip hop, the whole 9 yards, the Super Bowl is for you.
What are we doing?
The Super Bowl performance by Kendrick Lamar during the halftime show was a 10 out of 10 for you. But for everybody else outside of that zeitgeist,
What are we doing?
not good, babes. Okay, we've even got people like people like Joe Budden. We've got people like Joe Budden putting his foot in his mouth over the damn Kanye West halftime performance. We've got none other than rap hip hop aficionado Joe Budden crashing out over what he thinks was, before the Super Bowl, Kendrick Lamar's leaked set. Listen to this. Listen to this. This is hilarious. This is absolutely hilarious because Joe Budden prides himself on being, you know, the godfather of rap. He's there. He's got the news. He's got the industry insiders. He's been in the game. He's out of the game. He knows what's going on when it comes to the Drake beef and Kendrick Lamar situation. So when he says shit like this, it's actually kind of funny.
All of the people that believe that that was Kendrick's Super Bowl lineup, you're an idiot.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a copy of the what is the quote unquote leaked
Read
set
it
list.
so they can hear just how stupid
It don't
they
make
are.
it. Yeah, I was like, this makes no
Y'all,
sense to me.
actually, don't read it yet. Y'all are really stupid. Seriously.
He's talking to us. He's talking to us. He's talking to us, people on Twitter, people on the internet, me, you, who presumably before the Super Bowl saw Kendrick's set list leak. Of course, it always does. You can't get a new iPhone in 2025 without a good fucking leak. You know what I mean? Let alone Google, let alone a Super Bowl set list. And so now Joe Budden, the man himself, is calling me an idiot because I believe, and which was presumably true, the set list for the Super Bowl.
I sat through all 12 minutes and 19 seconds of this. Some of y'all idiots out there are too damn devoted. Y'all really did it. Y'all really put like band breaks.
Yeah, the whole shit is in
They
it.
put fucking song segues. Let me tell whoever this cultureless kid is that put this together. This is the worst Super Bowl lineup I've ever heard.
And that's the point. I think
Yeah,
that was the
somebody
point.
just trying to make Kendrick
That was
look
the point.
stupid on Super Bowl weekend.
Yep.
No all right.
Oh.
No good kid, Mad City.
No.
Here, let
Just
me read
Mad
it.
GNX
Let me read it.
record.
And I'll tell you exactly why it's Mad GNX Records, bro.
What are we doing?
Because Kendrick Lamar doesn't own Good Kid, Mad City. If Kendrick Lamar would have done any of the songs that we wanted him to do that weren't on GNX at the Super Bowl, he wouldn't have gotten paid for them when Spotify streams blew up the next day. All of the songs that Kendrick Lamar played at the Super Bowl, he owns. He has rights to. They're under his new label, PG Lang. And now all of his old stuff, Sit Down, Be Humble, Good Kid, Mad City, Swimming Pools, all of the hits we wanted to hear from Kendrick, someone else gets paid when those songs are streamed. So why on God's earth, on the biggest stage, would Kendrick Lamar promote them when he can stand to gain another 3 billion views by performing all, if not most, GNX tracks? You know what I mean, Joe? Joe Budden was wrong. And I'm pretty sure what's hilarious is after calling me and everyone else an idiot, and after seeing the actual halftime show, he realized he was wrong. and I'm going to assume is going to go back on his podcast and be like, yeah, it was a great set. It was a great show. He stomped on Drake's grave. He had the girl out there, crib walking, Drake's ex, Serena Williams. I mean, if this Super Bowl halftime show wasn't 100% for Kendrick Lamar to tell us how much he dislikes Drake as a person, well then by God, you've mastered your goal.
What are we doing?
There's nothing else for you to accomplish because this was not a halftime show. You do not have the track list for the halftime show. You don't have the hits for the halftime show. Kendrick Lamar and Jay-Z perfectly executed their plan of attempting to have Kendrick Lamar Drake by playing Not Like Us at the halftime show. And it was, again, mid at best. I think here's the situation. A female needs to be at the halftime show. It needs to be a female artist with the hits. And if we don't have anyone other than Miley Cyrus next year, we're riding. Let's go. Super Bowl, Miley Cyrus. It's not Kendrick Lamar anymore. It's over. The beef is done. Guess what? Drake just dropped a new album. So as soon as we all get done listening to that this weekend, Kendrick's gone. Kendrick's not going to drop another album for 4 more years, and he's going to fade away into the zeitgeist. Do you remember hearing about Kendrick Lamar from 2020 to 2024? No, because he beefed with Drake, the largest and most influential rapper on the planet. It was a mid-Super Bowl. The halftime show was okay. Wow, he did not like us. Good for him. One song, Kendrick. You have, in my eyes, one song. I know no other song on GNX except for Squabble Up because they play it on the radio every 5 minutes.
What are we doing?
And that was the Super Bowl, bro. That was the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So we've got another Taylor to talk about this week. Not Taylor Swift because she's busy dealing with her boyfriend's Super Bowl loss and some drama going on with her friend Blake Lively. Apparently she's in a bit of a tizzy.
What are we doing?
So in order to talk about Taylor this week, we have to shift focus away from the Swift and back towards the only other Taylor that matters in Hollywood. And that is none other than our good friend, Taylor Lautner. Now, for those of you who don't know, Taylor Lautner, he's an actor. He's got a podcast. He's like everyone else in Los Angeles. Taylor Lautner got his fame, of course, naturally from the Twilight series, Twilight Saga, Breaking Dawn, the whole thing. And you know what, dude? Now that I think about it, this is the perfect. I'm so glad this story came up, and I'm so glad we're talking about here on this podcast because we can't talk about Taylor Lautner. Hold on. I can't do a story. I just realized I can't do a story about Taylor Lautner if I'm not wearing my Taylor Lautner Jacob from Twilight mask. Is this on my face right? Are we good? Where are we at? Let me see. I'm basically Taylor Lautner.
What are we doing?
I am Taylor Lautner, and I'm going to be playing in this new show that we've got. And the title of the headline, I mean, if you were like myself in thinking that, hey, where's Taylor Lautner been? You know what I mean? He's had a few movies. Okay, listen. He's had a few movies since Twilight. One was like a spot, like like a Jason Bourne kind of thing that didn't work. He's had another movie that didn't work, and another movie that didn't work, and another movie that tanked. Needless to say, Taylor Lautner's one and only movie that he's ever been in that's been successful is Twilight. So why not really just kind of, go out on a bang and just make that your whole life in existence, okay? And so with that being said, we have none other than Taylor Lautner's Werewolf Hunter TV series in development at Amazon Prime MGM Studios. And you heard that right. I said werewolf, okay? Once you go wolf, you never go black.
What are we doing?
Mess that up. Once you go wolf, you never go back. It's the phrase. I think that's it now. You know what I'm talking about, okay? It's bad enough I can't see out of this thing. It's bad enough I can't see with sunglasses on. Taylor Lautner is set in a very, very self-aware wolf TV series.
What are we doing?
Variety has learned exclusively that Taylor Lautner will star and executive produce, because don't they always, the scripted series Taylor Lautner Werewolf Hunter. So he's playing himself, but in a weird meta. Listen to this. Taylor Lautner Werewolf Hunter, which is currently in development at Amazon MGM Studios. The project was brought to Amazon by Tornate, the independent studio behind shows like BoJack Horseman and the Amazon series Undone. So the official log line, listen to the description. Listen to the description of this, and if it's almost as if they stole it. It's almost as if they stole it from something I once said on this podcast. This TV description, this TV show, Amazon Prime, Taylor Lautner original series description is right out of the What Are We Doing podcast playbook. Listen to this. And this is real. This is official. Here it is. After wrapping the final Twilight film, Taylor Lautner vanishes from the spotlight. Fans speculate, tabloids theorized, but the truth is wilder than fiction. Taylor wasn't just taking a mental health break. He was preparing for his real calling. Taylor Lautner, Werewolf Hunter. Playing himself, Taylor is drawn into a secret society of werewolf trackers who need his unique experience as he navigates his double life. Hollywood actor by day, not a very good one, and supernatural warrior by night. Taylor must wrestle with the ultimate irony, fighting the very creatures that made him famous in the first place. Between saving the world, reviving his career, falling in love, he faces the ultimate question. What happens when your biggest role becomes your greatest enemy?
What are we doing?
So if this isn't the most hilarious TV plot I've ever heard, it was bad enough that we have Taylor Lautner back in the early 2000s playing Jacob the werewolf, and now Taylor Lautner is playing Taylor Lautner as if the movie Twilight actually exists, but at the end of the day, Twilight told us that werewolves were fake, or we're supposed to reveal they're supposed to be fake. That's why Twilight was fiction, but now in real life, Taylor Lautner is going out and hunting real life werewolves because of course he is.
What are we doing?
We cannot and will not and refuse to have every single original idea in this country just thrown out the window. If we cannot come up with something more original than this, this is Hollywood, folks. This is where we're going. This is 2025. I'm here for it. I'm watching every episode. I'm a diehard. If you've never seen Twilight, what's wrong with you? Hey,
what are we doing?
Go watch Twilight right now, and you'll fully understand why it is a major, major thing that Taylor Lautner is now playing himself in a TV show as himself, who played Jacob as a werewolf in Twilight, and then having to go out from that set to hunt real werewolves in the real life. It's so meta, bro. The meta's broken.
What are we doing?
It's broken, dude. It's so broken that, you know what else is so hilarious? The fact that Taylor Lautner married, his wife's name is also Taylor. So they're both named Taylor Lautner, Mr. and Mrs. Taylor and Taylor Lautner.
What are we doing?
I didn't think I'd be talking this much about Taylor Lautner in 2025, but here we are. When you have something, you ride the wave. If Taylor Lautner hasn't launched a crypto meme coin, it's like $ Twilight, $ werewolf, $ Bella, $ Jacob, $ Team Edward. The fact that Taylor Lautner with this Variety.com announcement didn't include the fact that alongside the new Amazon Taylor Lautner Werewolf Hunter show is coming an entire crypto presence of coins and NFTs along with it, then it's probably going to inevitably fail. No one's going to watch it. No one's going to see it. If you want to make your brand or TV show or movie successful in 2025, you have to co-launch the actual show or media alongside a crypto coin. So Taylor Lautner, get on it, and we'll be waiting for the official season 1, episode 1, Amazon Prime, Taylor Lautner, the vampire. I'm sorry, there are no vampires. Vampires aren't real. Werewolves are real. Taylor Lautner's not hunting vampires. He's hunting werewolves. If vampires were real, we'd be hunting vampires, but we're not. It's werewolves. Taylor Lautner, the vampire hunter, coming soon to a screen near you, because of course it is. You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, I have got to wrap up this episode today. I have got so many things to do. I've got to call my friend Ye. Apparently he's single. He's tweeting out some things I don't think he means. Someone hacked his website and put up a shirt for sale that I don't think Kanye meant to sell. And so now, with the divorce of his second wife and Kim Kardashian taking photos, look at these photos. These photos are not Bianca. These photos are not Bianca. They're Kim Kardashian. Can you see the similarities between the two? Kanye West needs a new muse. Him and Bianca broke up. So I got to go call Kanye, make sure he's okay, make sure he didn't go overboard, make sure he's not tweeting anything crazy like, I love Germany, like, you know what I mean, or whatever else he might have been tweeting these last few days. But Kanye West is now single and ready to mingle. Does that mean new music? Does that mean a new muse? Who do you think Kanye's going to pull next? Let's leave some comments down below and we'll figure out who Kanye West is going to try to court and get into his ecosystem to be naked. Listen, I don't blame her. Bianca, good for you, sweetheart. I don't blame you. Her nipples were probably so sore. Her nipples were so sore from being naked 24/7. She couldn't take it anymore. She got cold. She was cold. I mean, her body, she's got a figure, but there's not a lot of fat or meat on this girl. So when she's outside in the middle of February, she's probably just really cold and she probably got really sick of it. So that's why after the nakedness now, did the tweets have anything to do with it? Most likely. Okay, listen, when you as a man start forcing your girlfriend, fiance, or wife to be naked 24/7 and then just sit there on the couch in silence while you tweet some anti-Semitic shit, well, naturally your girlfriend, fiance, or wife's probably just gonna maybe like go that way or go elsewhere, literally anywhere else than nowhere near around you.
What are we doing?
I am surprised Bianca didn't leave Kanye West years ago. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. The man, I believe, personal opinion, has some undiagnosed mental issues and we need to maybe get that worked on. You don't go from sanity to tweeting anti-Semitic things to then being like, oh, don't worry, those tweets were just to promote my upcoming album. I don't think so, dude. Get it right or get it tight. Kanye West is back on the market, ladies. If you want your shot at, being the next Kim Kardashian, here's your chance. Look at Bianca. She's on her way. Kim's on her way already. And we've got another one, I'm sure, lined up. We will see Kanye West remarried for a third time by the end of this year. Mark my words. That's a prediction. We will see Kanye West married to a third female, maybe female, who knows? Maybe he might switch teams. Kanye West might switch teams this year. And, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another crazy, wild episode of the What Are We Doing podcast. Thank you guys so much for rocking with me this week. If you haven't seen last week's episode, check that out. And if you haven't seen the 280 Plus episode that went out this week, check that out as well. And if you haven't done so already, what are you waiting for? Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and come along for this roller coaster of a ride we call the What Are We Doing podcast. My name's Levi McCurdy. See you guys next week. Have a good one.
Amalfi Jets is calling.